So the yo-yo is a really unique object. In fact, it's the second oldest toy behind the doll and was brought to the United States of America by a Filipino man by the name of Pedro Flores. And he introduced this toy and its amusing characteristics to two brothers who then later on formed what is now known as Duncan Yo-yos, the biggest yo-yo company in the world. I'm John Narum, and I am a professional yo-yo performer. I started yo-yoing 14 years ago when I was 4 years old, and my mom brought home a yo-yo just for me to play around with. And my first yo-yo experience looked exactly like this. I couldn't even get it back to my hand. But luckily, there was a yo-yo club within my local area where kids were basically teaching each other tricks. And after a couple of weeks of going to this club, my first yo-yo experience turned into this. It's a lot better, huh? I also learned some basic tricks, such as this one some of you may know, called Walk the Dog. And this one, Around the World. Between the ages of 4 and 10, I was constantly spending hours playing around with the yo-yo. Because, yes, I did play sports, but it was something that I found that I truly excelled at. And I started learning some advanced tricks, such as this next one called Eli hops. And this one, now bear with me, this is a silly name for a yo-yo trick. It's called Boingy Boingy. So it wasn't until I was 10 years old that I decided, hey, I might actually be good at yo-yoing, and that I wanted to start competing, which, yes, by the way, there are tons of worldwide yo-yo contests where they're being held in over 60 countries now. And I started competing, and I started doing well, but I always had this goal in mind that I wanted to be the best, because at that point, the yo-yo had turned from what is just a simple up and down hobby to something that was a true passion within my life. And you know what happened? My wish came true in 2005 when I became the youngest person ever, and I still am, to win the World Yo-Yo Contest at the age of 11 years old. Thank you. Thank you. Now, when you win the World Yo-Yo Contest, especially at my age, you kind of have some expectations. Some of mine were, wow, my video is going to be blown up all over the internet. You do something called a yo-yo freestyle, which is basically a yo-yo tricks choreographed to music. There's going to be random companies like Nike calling me up, be like, hey man, you want to do a spot on our next commercial? Maybe I would walk around and be like, hey, I know you can do Walk the Dog, right? But you know what happened when I went home to Minnesota? Absolutely nothing. It's almost as if the World Yo-Yo Contest had never even happened. And it really didn't occur to me why I wasn't even getting recognition within the yo-yo community until I saw a video one day online called Project John Narum Sucks. Now, what this video was there was a giant screen with my world championship winning freestyle, which once again is yo-yo tricks choreographed to music. And then there was a little box in the right upper hand corner of other yo-yo players doing tricks similar to mine. And I didn't even know most of these players. And the overall message of this video was, John Narum cheated his way to the top. He didn't do anything that a world champion should do. So therefore, he did not deserve it. And it really hurt a lot because there were people that actually liked this, people that I knew and had gone along with. And you know what that does to an 11-year-old? It completely destroyed me. That's what it did. I didn't even pick up the yo-yo for like a year and a half because all I would do was sit in my room and be like, oh my God, the world hates me, even though I spent like 6 years, right, trying to learn this passion of mine. So when I did pick up the yo-yo finally, I started going out there and competing. And the only thing that I wanted was to win every single contest that I attended. I needed to prove myself, that's what I said in my mind, that I have something worth showing to the world. As if like the only thing that proved that I had succeeded in my talent was a stupid piece of 2-inch metal hanging on a ribbon, saying that, good job, you might have done something today. Well, it wasn't until 2010 when my mom sat me down and I was practicing for the 2010 World Yo-Yo Contest, and she asked, I just want you to go out there, John, and have fun this time. And I said, Mom, I have what it takes to win this year, finally. And she said, do do you like yo-yoing, John? And I said, of course, I love going out there and doing my thing and winning. She's like, no, like, do you love yo-yoing? And it didn't occur to me until after our talk that what she was trying to refer to has been the philosophy that I started out with yo-yoing, and that's just going out there and doing what I love instead of trying to take advantage of all these materialistic opportunities. And I guess that's something that, I want you to take away from, because sometimes we do get caught up in money, in success, when really you should do what you love for the personal fulfillment. Now what happened is I went on stage at the 2010 World Yo-Yo Contest. I was dressed as Michael Jackson. It was actually pretty cool. And I did my routine, walked off stage. One of my friends came up and he was hugging me. He's like, man, how do you feel? And I was like, what did I just do up there? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, you had a pretty good routine. And I'm like, I don't remember a single thing that I just did up on that stage. And you know what? That was the best feeling that I had ever had ever since I was 11 years old, because I had finally lost myself in something that I love doing, something that I've been searching for so long. And that's something that I think can apply to all of us. It doesn't matter if you want to be good at art, if you want to be a good musician, if you want to be the next Bill Gates. You should lose yourself in what you love doing, and then in the end, you'll find that you're doing it absolutely correct. Now, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I think the most humbling part of my yo-yo freestyle in 2010 was I didn't even win. In fact, I was 5 places short of being last place in the world. But it was the fact that I lost myself that was really rewarding. And I realized that the yo-yo was no longer something that controlled me in a competitive sense. It was something much bigger than myself. And therefore, I've started to reach out to the community. I volunteer at a local children's hospital in Minneapolis where I live. And just being able to see kids smile after I teach them how to get the yo-yo up and down, and just getting good feedback, is sometimes one of the most rewarding things at the end of the day. I want to keep yo-yoing a part of my life for the rest of my life, too. That's why I'm going to school here in Fargo, is to learn the tricks and trades that I would take to run my own yo-yo company someday. Because, like I said, in the end, the yo-yo is not a dinky little plastic thing at the end of a string. It's a tool, and it's my portal to the rest of the world that I have yet to discover. And I think that can apply to all of us. So I told you guys before that I do something in yo-yo competitions called a freestyle, where it's yo-yo tracks choreographed to music. Would you guys like to see one? Alrighty, let's do it. Thank you. Thank you.